Despite losing last night to the Orioles, the A's defeated the Tampa Bay Rays today, 2-1 final score, and the A's have now won 14 of their last 15 games. The A's look pretty legit right now. Number 2 on the power rankings for this week on MLB, and just looks good. This game was close. It, got me a little bit nervous. I was doing a live stream with Chiefs Rays Bolts, obviously, on Instagram. For those of you that saw that, we might be doing that for future A's versus Rays games. And they're going to be playing each other 3 more times in this series. So, I was nervous because it kind of came down to the end. I mean, a 2-1 final score. The Rays had a runner at second. I believe it was Susugo, who then was pinch ran for by Brett Phillips. But this game had some controversial calls, too. I mean, it very well could have been 3-1 A's because there was a pretty controversial call. Sean Manaea was the pitcher for the A's. And something about Sean Manaea pitching against the Rays gives me a little bit of, stress just because of the wild card game 2 years ago, but whatever. He made up for it. He played good. The Rays actually did score their first and only run in the bottom of the first inning on a Austin Meadows sacrifice fly. It was kind of like a line drive to center field, but Laureano caught it. But the Rays did strike first. But the A's defense and pitching was pretty lights out for the rest of the game. And I mean, no offense to the Rays, I respect them as a small market club, but their offense kind of blows. I mean, besides that, they left so many runners on base. They get, like, a lot of A's pitchers walked batters today, and the Rays really couldn't make anything of it. Piscotty had an amazing highlight catch in the 3rd inning. Maybe could have possibly saved scoring. So really good catch for Piscotty, just a very athletic right fielder. And then the A's scored their only pair of runs in the game in the 4th inning off Rich Hill, who actually is a former A's pitcher. He was pitching today for Tampa Bay. Sean Murphy hits a bomb home run, 2-run homer, because there was a guy on first. Matt Chapman was on base, to left field, and that put the A's up 2-1 on Tampa Bay. And there would be no more scoring, but pitching was pretty good. And the A's, I mean, they didn't technically score, but there was a very controversial call that I think should count as a run. The Rays basically dropped a pretty routine fly ball, and Andrus was running to second. He pretty clearly got in there. They called him out, went to the review booth, and they still called him out. But, I guess it's fine because we won, right? But still, not a good feeling when calls don't go your way. If the A's would have lost this, I would have been really upset because it was a bad call. I think even Rays fans could admit it was a bad call. Lou Trevino, and actually Bob Melvin got ejected, the A's manager, but Lou Trevino came in at the closer position. He's been doing that a lot after Diekman, he came in. The Rays had 2 guys on as Susugo got a single, and then he walked the next guy, but luckily there was a pretty routine fly ball to left field. The A's caught it and beat Tampa Bay in Game 1 of the series, the Battle of Moneyball, 2-1. And I always like when these clubs play because I think it's a really competitive matchup. I mean, these teams pretty much always go at it when they play each other, and today was a very lackluster game in terms of offense for both teams. The A's just had the edge. I mean, the A's were out hit by the Rays 6-3. The Rays had 2 times the amount of hits, but the A's had 2 times the amount of runs. So that put them over the top, and Murphy had a great home run, which we always love to see. Murphy is emerging as a really, really good player. For the Rays, they had 3 pitchers. Rich Hill actually did good. I mean, he had 10 strikeouts, just that 1 homer lost them the game, obviously. But their relief pitching was pretty good. A's, similar story. Sean Manaea allowed the 1 run. He had 6 strikeouts, still pretty good performance. And then Petit, Diekman, and Trevino were lights out. Little shaky from Trevino and a little shaky from Diekman. I mean, he had 2 runners on second. There were runners on second and third when he was pitching. However, the A's get it done. 15-8 final, or is their record now? Final score was 2-1 in favor of the A's. The A's are now still atop of the AL West. We're the best team in the American League in terms of win percentage. The Royals technically have better win percentage, but we have the most wins, I meant to say. But I mean, we're just looking really good. We've won 14 of our last 15, and I'm really happy. So let me know your thoughts on this game. Final score 2-1. And yeah, go A's.